and we turn the water on, it's going to turn the water back onto the house. Okay. Good morning, everybody. It's James from Pipe Doctor Home Services. Today we're putting in the Flow by Moen smart water monitor and shutoff valve. We're going to be piping it in here. So we have our water meter coming in, or our water main coming into our meter. We have 2 shutoffs on each side. Then out of that we have our first tee, which picks up our sprinkler system. And then afterwards we have our whole house filtration system with a bypass valve. So if this ever needs to be serviced, you could shut this, open this, so that allows water to pass through, but not through the filter. So we're going to be piping it in here, because the client doesn't want it picking up the sprinkler, but we do want it picking up the filter in case it ever leaks, I believe. I'm going to double check with him now. Okay, so we are going to be piping in before everything. So right outside of this globe valve, we're going to cut it in. Maybe I use that wood blocking back there to mount it, and then we'll tie back in, so that this way it's picking up the sprinkler and it's picking up the filter before the rest of the house. So I have it unboxed right here. This is our device from Moen. They give you a couple different things. They give you this temporary sleeve in case, you know, it's new construction and you don't want to put this device in yet. You could at least pipe it out and leave this in place, and then when you're ready to install it, you loosen the unions and all that fun stuff. They give you O-rings with grease. They always give 2 packs for some reason. I don't know what the reasoning is behind that, but I always leave that with the customer. They give you the key for turning the valve on and off. This is your battery, or not your battery, this is your power cord with the transformer. So what we're going to be doing is, since this is all PEX, I brought a bunch of PEX, and we're going to be pressing it with our PEX fittings. So just make sure that that fits nice. Let's take these unions off. They updated their box. It used to not have all this stuff here. It was just like a plain cardboard box, so that's really nice. Can I fit this over? I can. Okay, good. I didn't want to make it up and then realize after the fact that I couldn't get the union sleeve over our adapter here. So that's that. So I'm going to get into why I love the Moen Smart Valve, the Flow by Moen. I have to get smaller Teflon. I have to get the 1/2-inch Teflon. I only have 3/4 in my bag. So this, we'll just have to make do with this for now. I'll get into it in a minute, why I love this valve so much. This isn't a paid promotion by them, by the way. This is just installing a customer supplied leak detection device. But I want to give my 2 cents as to why I prefer it, what I like about it, why I think it works so well. Yeah. And if Moen ever wants to send me one, I'll put one in my house. And I could do a nice, really nice full-blown video for them. So the only thing is if I hard pipe it, I could do it like this. And then go out and back up, and then it won't need to be supported. Alright, so maybe we'll just make up one of these for now, and we'll just have to do regular press. Came to look at this job on Friday. Today is Monday, the 17th. It was a miscommunication with booking with the office, because when I got here Friday I was all ready to work and the client was like, I don't have it yet. And I was like, oh. And he's like, no. He's like, I said I need to have one installed, I have it ordered, I have it on the way. And there was lost communication there, which happens, obviously, we're human and we're not perfect, blah, blah, blah. But, he had called in yesterday to the emergency service to just leave us a message to let us know that he had received it. So I called him back yesterday, put him on the schedule for today, and here we are. All right. So James, why do you like the Flow by Moen so much? Well, thank you guys for asking. Reason I like them is that I've installed a lot of different leak detection systems over the years. Just make sure that passes through. I've installed the H2Ys by Kohler, whichever model one from Finn. The one I did not too long ago on my channel. I made a video on it. I believe it was the leak detection system made by Watts. And I've probably done, I would say, at least 24 of these Flow by Moens. So the reason I like them so much is that they're fairly simple to install. You know, it's just a matter of 2 unions, and you know, sometimes you got to do a little bit of repiping, like in my case. But like, let's say we just had a straight line going up the wall. You know, you just cut it right in and call it a day. Which, you know, I guess is true for the other ones as well. But not the one by Watts though. That one needed a whole assembly with a check valve and a brass nipple and all this different stuff. So it's very, very easy to install. What I like about it is that the first 10 days of the unit being in, it is learning your water patterns and your usage, and it tracks that and pays attention to it, and it gives the device a rough idea of your water patterns, right? Because it's a smart valve. So obviously humans don't do the same thing every single day, right? We, for the most part, have a pretty steady schedule, but not every single day is the same. But it uses that information to let it know what's being used at what time, right? It doesn't know that you're going to flush the toilet at 9 o'clock in the morning, but it does have an idea of flow rates for different fixtures like toilets and faucets, and showers, and your sprinkler system and stuff like that. And during the initial startup, which we will be doing after, we will be telling it, you know, that the client has a sprinkler system, or they have an ice maker on their refrigerator, or, you know, all these different options. What it will pick up though is, like, let's say there's a toilet running and it's using 0.1 gallons per minute for however long, right? Because the toilet running doesn't stop running. It's going to notice that, and it's going to alert the client, and it'll shut the house down. Now, some people see that as a nuisance, right? Because your water just shut off just because the toilet was running. But that could be a big deal, because if that toilet's clogged and it's running, now you're going to have a flood. And I've had it where I'm gonna do it like this and then elbow back up into it, because there's just no good way of doing it here. If I go here, I gotta elbow over and then out of it, elbow back up, and then the system is also upside down. Another thing I could think of is if I were to put it here, but then that's a boatload of elbows as well. So 1, 2, 3 elbows at the bottom. 1, 2, yeah, that's just way too many elbows. I've had it where I've put a Moen in, and go figure, a day later, or not a day later, it was like a week or so later, because obviously it spent its first 10 days learning. But later on, it notified the client that they had something running. And the client called saying that there was something wrong with the Moen, but there actually wasn't. The Moen was just doing its job. So I like that it spends that first 10 days learning. Nice. And just getting an idea of your system and how things work. Let me cut this line. So that's the cool part. The app is very intuitive. I know they've updated it a couple times, so it's fairly modern now. But it's cool. It has some features like, you know, water saving features, stuff like that. I know a lot of people don't care about the water saving part, but it tells you your incoming street pressure, your incoming water pressure. Am I just threading the pipe right now? I am. There we go. And so like it's going to pick up on something like this. Let's say I always use this as an example with clients. Holiday time rolls around and your great Aunt Sally flies in to, you know, spend the holiday vacation with you. And she gets in at 2 o'clock in the morning and she wants to take a shower. And you don't normally take a shower at that time because you're not your great Aunt Sally and you don't shower at 2 o'clock in the morning. So what's going to happen is she's going to go to put the shower on. She's going to let it run, and obviously a shower uses, you know, roughly 1.5 to 2 gallons a minute, depending on the size of your shower head. That is going to, the Moen is not going to like that. And the Moen is going to say, hey, there's something wrong. We've noticed water running at a time that it normally isn't running at. Here's 5 minutes to tell us to leave it running or we're going to shut your water off. So it gives you a notification in advance. Or if you miss that notification and it shuts the water off, you could just turn it back on from your phone. So I like that a lot. I'm still trying to, I want this to be supported really badly. The only thing, because there's no room here, I'm just trying to think of a way to have this not look like a hack job. And that random Joe Schmo didn't do it. Alright, let's brainstorm for a minute. I'm sure you guys are going to come up with an idea in the comments on a good way for me to run this. I need scratchy paper to clean that up, and we'll get this supported. I have a bit of an idea here that I'm rolling with. So if I do that like that, and this gives me what I need to come up, and then I can elbow this back into this and then put a T here, come up and over into it. I think that's the route I'm gonna go. You know, you start staring at something for so long and then, you know, you're just wasting time. Okay, that's one. I do love this tool. It does make life very easy. Okay, so we got this cleaned, we got this deburred. You get to see the quality of the water here in Woodmere and this whole South Shore area of Long Island. So if we face it forward like that, that can still be opened. Now the only thing is I won't be able to support anything. The only thing that's supported is this, which, you know, this meter has been like this. It was probably going straight up for the longest time. And this Moen is not that heavy, so I'm not really overly worried about the weight of it. Okay. So what I was saying is if I do this like this, and I come back with a small piece into here like this, right? And then, because I can't do a T, because if I do a T, I would have to come up into this, and then this would have to come down into it. I guess that's not horrible. I was just thinking more or less come up, over, down, boom, in. Alright, let me play around with this. Alright. Just so you know, in case you don't have these blue fin fittings, right, that have the sleeves pre-attached to them, you can use a sleeve with a regular PEX fitting. Pop that over, pop that on like that, and then you could still press it. So if we take this, put it on like this, and there you go, it's pressed in place. The only thing I had nitpicked about this tool and doing things like this is that you can't rotate the fittings. Like these crimp rings, I can rotate them any which way afterwards, but these ones you can't. You have to kind of just commit to it. So let's just do like a small piece. I'm gonna cut this end off because this has obviously been scraped against the floor one too many times. And let's do, let's see, how close was I on that? Wow, 3 inches on the dot from experience. Okay. There's these little sight holes on the rings here where you can see the PEX that is inserted all the way. So what we're going to do is for this, just going to get our piece across. Try to do it like, I don't want it to be too short, so we'll try to do like 1.25 inches. And this piece here, we'll do just about 5 inches. So 1.25 inches and 5 inches. Or 1.75 inches, I mean. There's number 1. Try not to slice my thumb. I sliced this thumb open right here with a PEX cutter 2 summers ago. And I needed 4 stitches to get it closed. No fun. Okay, that's in all the way. That's in all the way. We're going to put a ring on this one. Make sure that that's in all the way. Okay. Nice. Okay, good. Since it's on unions, we can swivel and move this around. But, alright, that's good, that's good, that's good. We'll do this part afterwards. Let's just press this real quick. This bottom one is pushed in. Alright, elbow, 2 small pieces, and we can get the water back on. Okay, come on. So can I fit that in there? So I'm gonna pull this off and just press this real quick. Back on. Yeah, come on. Yes, I've never gone back to a client that had said they didn't like their Moen. The only other one I could think of is that I had a client one time that had called me saying there was an issue, but it was because their incoming street pressure coming from the city water was low. So like that had no bearing. It was a notification that, you know, the device had sent the client, but there wasn't anything wrong with the device itself. It was just giving them a heads up that, hey, your water pressure is very low. Just put this back. Let's just give this a little bit of a snug. This is plastic on plastic, so don't be overly crazy with it. So what we're going to do first, we're going to leave all the valves shut, but just open this to pressurize the device. Just to make sure we don't have any leaks. So far, so good. Let's run and set up the power now. Okay. Behind like this. I do believe that Moen has a you can order a longer power cord from them in case your outlet is a little bit further away. You know, a lot of water main closets in people's homes don't have power in them, so it's okay to temporarily run it with an extension cord, and then, you know, you obviously notate that it was ran with an extension cord and that the client should have a licensed electrician return to, you know, put a proper cord. But what we find most of the time is that your breaker panel is in the same closet as the water main, and there's likely multiple outlets that could be used. I have just the water cracked right now. I'm just gonna get it open back up. These things stink. My fake, you know what I'm trying to say. Leatherman. There we go. Took me a minute there. Okay. I'm gonna open up the sink down here so we can purge some of the air from the line. We'll let that purge for a bit, and then we'll work on setting up the app. Just putting some stuff away real quick. I was thinking about it, you know, I may or may not be able to show you guys the app setup just because it's going to have the client's information in it, and obviously I want to respect their privacy and not share their personal information with you guys, but we'll see as we're going through it. If not, I will show you the end result. I can show you guys how you can remotely turn the valve on and off and all that fun stuff. I had him pre-download the app on his phone before I started working, just to save some time at the end. Because the first couple times I ever put these in, I didn't realize until afterwards, oh, there's the app, and then we got to sit there, download it, make an account, this, that, and the next. So hopefully I'll have all of that done, and we can just get rocking and rolling with the setup of the device. Come on, get in there. Perfect. All right. Yeah, so at the end there, during the setup process on the client's phone, he was getting a boatload of notifications, and I did not want to record his, you know, personal stuff going on. But, you know, it asks you a series of questions in terms of how many people reside at the home, how many floors, how many bathrooms, you know, is there a pool, is there a pond, is there a hot tub, an RO system, like a whole list of things. Just be prepared to have the information for it. And one other thing that's important too is to just make sure that the Wi-Fi near the device is good. That's one thing that gave a little bit of tough time in the past, where a client had to purchase like a booster for their Wi-Fi to get it to connect with the device, you know, because down in the corner of that house, this client, his Wi-Fi was literally in the same closet, so it connected like that. But yeah, you saw the little clip there at the end where from the phone we were able to turn it on and off manually. So over the next 10 days, it's going to be learning, and then it'll go into its full service mode where it will go off on alarm if it notices that there's anything wrong. Like I said, this was not a paid promotion by Moen. I wish it was. I just, oh, something fell over. I just really like their product for the leak detection system, and like I said, if they want to link up sometime and have me put one in at my house, I would love to. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Let me know thoughts and feedback if there's anything I could have done differently, if you would have piped it out differently. I don't know. Like I said, there's 10 different ways of doing it, and I wasn't trying to overcomplicate it. So yeah, let me know what you think. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, take care.